for those of you who know me, which is you know that I have a very specific hyperfixation currently that has been going on for the last couple of years now of the game Fire Emblem Three Houses for the Nintendo Switch.
Yay!
I don't know why. I bought it because the characters were pretty and I wanted to play a Fire Emblem game for a while, and I thought, I have a Switch, this is my chance, and then I bought it and then it consumed my life for the entirety of the pandemic and I've never looked back. So welcome to FE16 Three Houses Brain Rot Simulator Game of the Year edition. It is me info dumping about the lore and the characters.
How long is this? How long is this?
It's not too long, it's just a couple slides.
That's not too long. That's
not even too long.
That's fine, go for it. Go crazy, go stupid.
It's just me talking about it. So welcome to FE16 Three Houses Brain Rot Simulator Game of the Year edition featuring partners from the Fire Emblem series. Table of contents. This is me right now. We have plot summary part 1, Divergence. Plot summary part 2A, Azure Moon. Plot summary part 2B, Verdant Wind. Plot summary part 2C, Silver Snow. And plot summary part 2D, Crimson Flower. Then it's opinion having time, mixed with conversations that you're not ready for. Bonus, definitive best characters, not yet added, because I forgot to add it when I first originally made this thing, which I won't pester you with doing, so we'll just stop with conversations you're not ready for. So plot summary part 1, school phase. So when the game starts, you are Byleth, the protag. You can change the name, don't worry. If you want to name yourself Byleth Sigma Squared with the Greek symbol and the squared symbol, you can do that because that's exactly what I did. Byleth, you're a mercenary, you live with your dad, he's your obligatory father figure who will no doubt die. You're introduced to your 3 main lords. You've got Edelgard, Dimitri, and Spord. Besties. They're in danger. They're running away from bandits. You're thinking, okay, you go to a military academy. Just kill them? Okay, I guess you're in danger. It's fine. So you save them, and then you get, you should come to the monastery so we can, employ you. And you're like, I want to be a mercenary. It's just like, no, come on, dickhead! Be a fucking teacher! So then you get all this info dump, this exposition about Garrock Monastery itself, the institution where you will be staying, the Officers' Academy, the thing that you will be teaching at, and the actual country that makes up the setting, Fodlan, and the 3 nations within it. Basically, as explained, one big burrito of exposition. You pick one of the houses, you get 3 options, of course. 3 houses, you pick your favourite, and then some shenanigans happen for the first part of the game. Stuff like exposing children to murdering bandits, religious execution, assassination plots, secret societies, basement people, dead dads, human experimentation, teenage angst, dancing, tea parties, all sorts of other stuff. Vague and not so vague death threats to people of authority, looking at you, specific characters. So after a while, you end up fusing with God, and then one of your students decides, I don't like how things are, I'm going to start a war whilst I'm still at school. Good for her. So then, the only logical explanation for that is to go to sleep for 5 years, and then the time skip ensues. So then let's go on to who exactly will be meeting our kind of divergent paths, so to speak. Next slide. Yeah, there's animations to this. So the first house, not the first house that you encounter, because you will kind of encounter them at the same time, but the first house we'll be talking about is the Blue Lions. They are preps and jocks with goth seasoning. They are representations of the Holy Kingdom of Fargus, one of the 3 nations in the country. Everyone is traumatized. Everyone has trauma, and it's all bad. It's all bad. You think one's slightly better off than the other? No, there's layers to it. They might be handling it better, sure, but it goes deep. However, they only have 1 gay in the house, so a 3 out of 10. But their vibes are generally good. Everyone seems pretty nice, except for the odd few, like Ingrid, because she's a racist, and Sylvain, because he's an incel. I would trust the majority of them with my drink. Next slide. So these next slides are the kind of general vibes that the house gives off. compilations of memes and images that I think really represents how the house functions. So just take that in for a second. We've got Ingrid racist, haha, no homo, kisses you passionately. The JFK Sylvain image that I forget the source of, but somebody made it and I have never looked back. The Markiplier crying image. Next slide, next house, please. Next one, and I hate to be biased, but my personal favourite house is the Black Eagles. They are goths and nerds with theatre kids undertones for flavour, because these are some dramatic bitches. They are representations of the Etruscan Empire, another one of the nations within the country. All their fathers are either gone, dead, or abusive, so the vibes are immaculate. And there are 3 gay options in the house alone, so immediately 8 out of 10. Next slide. Again, another roundup of the vibes that we get from this gang. It's a lot of, yes, I'm a simp, second in command to a fascist empire. Are we the baddies? More guns, more depression, etc., etc. Moving on.
I like that every rose has its thorns.
It's a classic. We love Dorothea in this house. This is taking a turn. The last house is the Golden Deer. They're nerds and theatre kids with goth and jock side dishes. Not part of the main dish, but it's just kind of on the side for you to peck at. It's not really like a huge thing. It's mainly from Raphael, who's the jock, because he's a big dumb boy and I love him, and Marianne, who's suicidally depressed. That isn't an exaggeration, by the way. They're representations from the Leicester Alliance. They're only like slightly more well-adjusted. They still need therapy, but like they can function in like society. But please go seek like psychiatrists. I'm begging you. Like, we don't talk about Leonie's problems because there are problems, you know. There's clearly some attachment style that isn't compatible with the rest of the. We don't talk about it. But there are no gays, so they're the worst house by default. However, to make up for the lack of gays, so to speak, the memes that come out of this house are fan-fucking-tastic. I don't know where the trend of Lauren's feet pic memes came from. I don't really want to. I think it had something to do with his supports with Leonie. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Next slide.
It's the Yandere Dev pitch.
So then a time skip happens. It either happens with you falling like hundreds of feet into a ravine and somehow surviving, or you being crushed by falling debris. It depends on the route. Regardless, you are knocked out, somehow not dead, even though you are... I mean, by the point that this happens, you are fused with God and are functionally immortal. However, you can still be killed by, like, gameplay, like swords and axes and spells and shit, so how, like, a fall from hundreds of feet in the air doesn't kill you, I don't quite know. But go off, I guess. But anyway, you go to sleep for 5 years. And then when you come back, all your students are fully grown, and depending on the route that you picked beforehand, you are locked into the route that you are in the second half. So you're either with the Lions in Azamoon, Verdant Wind with Claude, the Silver Snow route, which is the Black Eagle route where you don't side with Edelgard, and the Edelgard route, Crimson Flower, where you coincidentally side with Edelgard. But really, it just comes down to press the next button. How horny are you? And who are you horny for? But the basic structure of the story is the same no matter what route you go down, because the same events take place, sometimes in different orders, and sometimes some like minor events won't happen because they're either character specific or story specific, but the general outline is the same. Political / war drama happens whilst you're asleep. You reunite with your all grown-up students. Everyone's of legal age for the dating gameplay aspect of the game. We don't talk about it, we just acknowledge that it's there and we move on. You gain command over multiple forts and holds across Holden on your quest to conquer the continent. Your reinforcements at some point in pretty much every route get infiltrated, and you fight in what is essentially World 9 from Super Mario. There's lots of fire. There's the Battle of Gronda Field map, which it's a big reunion party and nothing bad happens and everything is happy and fine. Do not worry about it. Nothing bad happens at all. No one is set alight against their will. More conquering. The Empire has magical nukes, which is not an exaggeration. It is actual ballistic missiles. And then in all routes except in all routes except Crimson Flower, you beat up Edelgard because she's the one who started the fight. And then in 2 of the routes, even though it should be 3, but go on, I guess. There's a surprise 11th hour evil albino dubstep mole people, and then you have to kill them, and then you get your husband, and then you win. You win the game. So the plot summary of part 2, with Azumoon, is Dimitri's framed for murder of the Regent King, well, because he was a prince at the time, so obviously he's not legally allowed to be a king yet, would go off, I guess. And he's bailed out by Dedue. The asterisks being Dedue coming back in part 2 is optional for some reason, even though he's...
Dundee.
He's like the main tank of the house, and you have to do a paralogue in part 1 to secure his survival in part 2, even though he is a key member of the house, so why would he... Don't worry about it. Everyone scatters like fucking cockroaches because nobody knows what the fuck is going on. The kingdom is being torn to shreds. Run. Violet reunites with punished Dimitri after 5 years of being in a fucking coma. Everyone returns to Garrick Mog because they promised. Uwu. We remembered in the power of friendship and we decided to meet up. Beautiful. Annette the Ginger and Felix the Edgelord's dads show up and treat Dimitri better than their own children. Dimitri continues his serious psychotic episode for like 6 months. It's bad. Felix's dad dies and Dimitri is suddenly cured now.
I fucking hate that.
Power nap over it. Hand kink implied. We don't worry about it. Revenge boner calmed but still ready to throw down. The gang is fucking given the alliance by Claude, marches to Enbar in the Empire, and beats the shit out of Sin Devil Trigger Edelgard at the end. That's it. Azumoon, in my personal opinion, is not the worst as in like quality, but worst ending as in there are better endings in terms of the overall outcome for everybody, if that makes sense. Azumoon feels like it's a good route quality wise, and I like it, but like it feels like the worst outcome that could have happened. Aside from Silver Snow, because I don't actually agree with it, but go off, I guess. Verdant Wind, however, whilst Byleth is functionally a vegetable, Claude, the main boy, fucks off. Just leaves and gains mad connections. Everyone reunites with Garage Mackies. Claude keeps alluding to the fact that if Rhea died, he wouldn't be mad, but he'd be more pissed about how he couldn't interrogate her base. Claude is very much in the business of I need answers about everything, to which I say good for him, but also I would like a story revolving around maybe more of the characters and not an exposition dump, and then like 2% Claude. Everyone talks about how hot Claude's mum friend Judith is, and I can't blame them, to be honest. Also, keep jinxing Dimitri being dead, it's like no. It is implied through like the first half of this route that Dimitri died during the time skip. He didn't, obviously. We need conflict for the second part, but... Oh no! Is he a ghost? Is he dead? Is he mad? Are we gonna still focus about this until he's actually dead? Can we focus about something else, please?
I'm begging you.
Ooh, I thought I was playing Claude's roots, not Dimitri's. Claude pulls out his trap card of being mixed race, and also a secret king of a neighbouring country, and calls for reinforcements because he couldn't do that earlier, apparently. I guess.
Whoops.
Whoops. You gotta go back.
There you go. I can use the arrow
wasn't
keys.
done yet. So then after that, you march to Embar, you beat up Edelgard, then Bargain Bin Dracula comes in and it leaves a message explaining all the shit that you need to clean up because
Bargain Bin Dracula.
Bargain Bin Dracula. Because he's sapiosexual and Claude is both smart and hot. Then you kill the evil mole people and also the reanimated corpses of your students' ancestors. Don't ask, I don't want to explain. Claude fucks off, leaving you in charge of everything because he has his own country to run. No, you don't have a choice. You wanted a quiet life? You maybe wanted to return to your mercenary life? No, you're a king or queen now. Get used to it. I don't like this route. Not because I don't like Claude, but because everything feels very thrust upon me in a way that I don't agree. What if I just wanted to go live in a cottage? No, I'm an archbishop now. Shit. I don't want this. Plot summary 2. Sea, Silver Snow is essentially functionally the same as Verdant Wind, only with different characters. Byleth floats face down in a puddle for 5 years, reunites with Sedith, Flame, the rest of the faculty, Knights of Ceres, etc., and the Black Eagle students bar the Littlest Dictator and the Phantom of the Opera. Proceed to disregard separation of church and state in search of Big Titty Dragon Pope. Beat the shit out of Edelgard and Hubert, receive the same post-mortem letter from Verdant Wind. Beat the shit out of albino mole people. Oops. Rhea, the woman that you set out to save for the entirety of this route, goes mad, and now you have to put her down like a dog. So, what was the reason? As she deserves, but then also it's just like, for what? I did all this to save you, and now you're just gonna go fucking crazy. Okay, thanks, I guess. Good for you. And then it literally becomes the United Kingdom.
Bruh.
It's functionally, like, politically the same outcome as Verdant Wind. You become, like, the head of state, Archbishop / King Queen of Fodlan. But it's specifically called the United Kingdom of Fodlan, and I can't get it out of my brain that Byleth essentially makes the United Kingdom, as in the one that we know in our world, because I just imagine them with a British accent and I think it's funny.
He's British.
He's British. The one British character, and it's the mute, as it should be. Next. Crimson Flower is a little bit different because, of course, you're siding with Edelgard, one of the main protagonists in the other 3 routes, so things are a little bit funky.
Bit quirky.
You're a little bit quirky, a little bit funky, a little bit remixed. You still get knocked the fuck out, but by the time that Byleth comes back, the gang's already conquered half the continent already, so they could probably would have been fine without you. I'll be completely honest. They did it before they could do it again, you know? They're fine. They're fine. They're competent. They're fine.
So did you make up the British
take over the
accent
Alliance
as a joke?
as your first thing of coming back. You come back from, like, near death, and then you're immediately just like, oh, okay, yeah, let's take over a nation. Sure. As one tends to do. You pretty much are forced to kill one of the students, Hilda, the annoying pig one, but you can spare Claude for some reason.
Not Hilda.
Like, you can choose to spare the main lords of the other houses, except for Dimitri. So really, you can choose to spare Claude, or you can kill him, and I appreciate the choice, but I would like to extend that choice to the other main characters, but then also it's a Fire Emblem game, so, you know, there's drama, and there's angst, and there's killing a past friend, and it's, but, like, still, I didn't really want to kill Hilda. I have no problem in doing so, but, you know, I'd like to avoid it. Eddie's uncle is a bitch-ass motherfucker and is also an evil albino mole imposter. Sus. Do not trust anything that comes out of his mouth. Gameplay tip number 1. He is mad sus. Game and his underlings, and feign ignorance, because yes, I did actually kill that big titty bitch, and I am proud to do it. I realised that a lot of these ramblings that I originally wrote down, I did it very late at night, if I'm remembering correctly. Like, a lot of this was written down at 3 a.m, and of course my 3 a.m. brain decided to not give context for any of the stuff that I've written down. So when I say kill that big titty bitch, I'm referring to a character called Cornelia, who is another evil albino mole person, but you don't see her until very late in the game, and she's around for one map, and she's functionally just a boss. She has no, like, major role in the story, she's just there to be antagonizing and have big movies. So really, it's like nothing lost by not explaining her, but it's also just like, simply saying killing the big titty woman makes no sense, because you hear big titties and you go, oh, that's a good thing, right? That she's evil, but having big titties makes it sexy, which is still a good thing, even though she's evil. So it's like, Fauna. At 3 a.m, maybe you should have provided more context when you originally wrote this. Maybe. And I realised that we're playing Portal 2 right now, and we got on such a tangent because I wasn't expecting you to roll a fucking 1 on a nat 20. Am I regretting my life decisions? No. However, I am realising that I have made a major embarrassment of myself, but we will continue because we are in deep now. And the sunk cost fallacy indicates that we must continue because we are so close to the end. Anyway, opinion. My opinion, if you're a Fire Emblem fan already, you might have already played this game, in which case we can both agree that, good game, I fucking hate it though. Good game, really like it a lot, wish it never existed though, for what it has done to my brain.
Give me the game.
Give me the game.
Good game, but give me the game.
Good game, but give me the game. I can tweak some things.
I can fix him.
I can fix him. Like, I shouldn't put that much energy into fixing him, but I can fix him. You know? It's like a toxic relationship. I keep coming back, even though it hurts me every time. But, like, I can fix him, but it can't be fixed. He has to fix himself, if that makes sense. And by he, I mean Intelligent Systems, the company that made the game.
Of course.
Of course.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for having your amazing...
I wasn't expecting you to roll a nat 1!
What? The die? I don't control. Anyway, ding 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 ding!
Like, I know that the chance is always there, but I genuinely was just like, there's no fucking way. If you're doing like a nat 20, there's like no fucking chance. It's always gonna be like mid numbers, you know?
Anyway.
Oh, no.
Teehee.